Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We got so much to go through with you. I'm so excited to be here with you on Monday. It is July 20th. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here, and thank you for choosing Popcorn Planet for your daily news. So excited to hang out with you guys as we actually talk about Ezra Miller today. I want to start pivoting to that case as it's starting to get more and more interesting. Over the weekend, an article came out basically acknowledging the fact that they don't know what to do with him. And this is a connected story to the Johnny case, in that Ezra Miller, for those of you who don't know, is an actor. He was in Fantastic Beasts 1 through 3 with Johnny in the last one, and was supposed to be in with the third with Johnny in this one. He would have had a pretty close role with Johnny. But they fired Johnny after the UK verdict. So it's hard to not see the hypocritical behavior here that they've decided to fire Johnny, keep Ezra and Amber. But now Warner Brothers is saying, well, we're definitely not going to bring him back after The Flash, but because they spent so much money on The Flash, we're going to hope things die down. It's a very interesting response that I want to break down. And we have a special guest joining as well. Oh, she's coming in. There she is to join us to get her reaction to this as well. It is Steph, the Alter Nerd. What's up, Steph?
Woo! Hey, what's up? Not doing too bad. How about yourself, my friend?
I'm doing great, and I'm just starting the show about Ezra, and it's setting up the story that, yes, they are going to... Oh, wait, hold on. I got to make you... There you are. Setting up the story that they are seemingly keeping him on the movie, which is very interesting to me. They're going to keep him on the movie, but then they're going to remove him from future movies, which is kind of like, all right. I want to get your reaction, audience, and I want to talk to Steph about this. So there's a lot to go through today, as well as Amber's book deal, and I have a lot of other stories I want to start getting into as we talk about the news of the week. But there's a lot on Ezra Miller that we can even go back and reevaluate on why this is such an issue. But before we do all that, let's give you the latest, which is what Warner Brothers is now saying about Ezra Miller, according to sources to Deadline. The thieves at Deadline, as we call them, Steph, because they always stole my scoops over the years. But for those that don't understand, let me be a little bit of a Hollywood nerd here for a second. Warner Brothers is in like a mass exodus of change. This guy Zaslav is coming over. David Zaslav was from Discovery, and he ended up secretly buying or joining Discovery, the channel, yes. 90 Day Fiance, all that stuff, is now owning Warner Brothers. And so Warner Brothers has now become Warner Brothers Discovery. AT&T sold it to them, and a lot of people were shocked, frustrated. AT&T had done this big deal and was supposed to take over, but they know how to make phones and had no idea how to run an entertainment studio. So they handed over this guy. Now David Zaslav is literally the head of Warner Brothers. And he's been out there taking meetings, trying to get things as the merger finally was done. And now the merger is finally, wrapping up, and it's approved. And now it's Warner Brothers Discovery. And he's got his first big movie crisis he's got to deal with, which is the fact that Ezra Miller is now the star of their $200 million tentpole film, with director Andy Muschietti, who did the It, Stephen King movie, was a huge hit. He's now got to make some real big decisions. And what does he have to do about Miller? Deadline has heard the studio has tried getting help for Ezra Miller, but the troubling headlines continue to pile up. Could you send a potential liability on a global publicity tour and have the actor anchor a huge studio franchise play? No, clearly at this point we can't. There's several choices among them. He can pull back on heavily promoting the summer 2023 film. It's still a year away. That's the other thing. It's kind of bad for them. I can't imagine a year, Steph, is going to help this case. It seems like, if anything...
Not with everything that's going on with Ezra Miller at the moment, and certain human beings that are young. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The things I've read, it's horrifying. What's going on at the moment.
Alleged,
of course, but I feel sorry for Warner Brothers in this situation, because I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard place with the Flash movie.
And a lot of people worked on it who shouldn't get punished either, right?
Yeah, but this film in particular, I feel sorry for Warner Brothers because Flashpoint was, again, I'm going to put my nerdy head on now. It was supposed to be the ultimate palate cleanser of the freaking Snyderverse. This was supposed to be the next kind of evolution of the DCU. Forget the horrific failures of the past, starting afresh. Flashpoint was supposed to be it. It was supposed to be the turning point. They bet everything on Flashpoint. And they're at the stage now where their lead actor is, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, has gone absolutely freaking insane. And if the reports are to be believed, potentially evil.
Troubled. How about we use the word trouble? I still refuse to. I don't know. I don't like to. We gotta. Just like Johnny, everyone deserves their day in court. Let's see what happens. Let's hear the other side.
That's why I say if the reports are to be believed.
Sure, yeah. But yes,
if Steph is right, it's evil actions.
If they're true, then yes, this guy's evil and needs serious help. Because it's very troubling, the accusations that are stemming out. And I look, I think Ezra now goes by they, them. Sorry, they need help is what the reality of this case is, and there's something up here, and as we go through it, it's something that it's very interesting to see how like this big studio is acknowledging it. And Lewis is here from Nerd Report, excited to get his insight. Welcome, my man.
Good morning, friends. Good afternoon, friends. If you're over there, Stefania, I know you're over there. It's probably nighttime, but
it's evening now. It's 8:30 in evening, mate.
Yeah, well, hey, props to you because you keep up that energy, all the way to the nighttime here. So yeah, a lot of props. Yeah, I feel sorry because look, Steph is right. These actions are evil from what we know. If he gets diagnosed or they get diagnosed as something's cuckoo, then it's a different story. But right now, from what we know, yeah, the actions are evil, and I feel real bad for my friends. They are friends that are doing PR work, public relations work at Warner's because they can't get a break and they don't like the situation at all. I can tell you that much. They don't even like the Johnny Depp situation, what happened with him. There's a new management there. Hopefully they could get through this, but they delayed this film so many times, enough times to have Ezra go crazy. So they should have just released this many years ago.
It's very weird because even when you go back to the first incident, they had time, and it should have just been like, all right, let's just start over. Mm-hmm. But they were trying to, I think, bridge the films, and they didn't know about COVID and all this would happen. So while a lot of you I know are like F Warner Brothers based on what they've done to Johnny and everything else, a lot of those people had nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? So it's I can't just throw the whole studio because some scumbag who's no longer there made a decision. You know what I mean? We have to be fair. And I wanted to see this movie. I'll be honest. I like The Flash. Michael Keaton's Batman's coming back in this movie. Yeah. It's like an epic movie. And so I understand the conundrum here because as they're basically saying here, what can they do, right? So the choices, he can pull back on heavily promoting the film, confining it to some P&A and no publicity tour, meaning he's just not going to send them out to press and make it a smaller release. He can relegate it just to streaming on HBO Max and take the write down, take a tax adjustment and say it's being ported to our HBO Max investment. Or he can lean in towards making the movie a hit and then drop Miller if they can't straighten things out. Warner Brothers did that when it dropped Johnny Depp from the Grindelwald character after the actor's well-publicized unsuccessful UK lawsuit. They don't adjust they don't talk about the irony and hypocrisy of the fact that they were wrong. They just make a point that they did that previously. It wasn't David Zaslav. He wasn't there. I hope Zaslav makes the right decision. He still has a chance here to do this right, to bring Johnny back. He still could. So let's not keep saying F Warner Brothers until we know what decision he's made, because he still's got a chance. And
a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of pieces. And as a studio source says, there is no winning in this for Warner Brothers. This is an inherited problem for the new Zaslav. The hope is that the scandal will remain at a low level before the movie is released, and hope for the best to turn out. Sources said even if no more allegations surface, the studio won't likely keep Miller in The Flash in future DC films. That would mean replacing him in the future, but there is still a $200 million investment on the line, with the first film, and Warner Brothers execs have to be cringing at each new press report. There have been 2 more rounds of unflattering headlines in just the last 2 weeks for the 29-year-old Miller, who identifies as non-binary. Daily Beast reported that there was a temporary harassment prevention order this week from a 12-year-old and a mother in Greenfield, Massachusetts, against the actor after Miller allegedly menaced the family and acted inappropriately towards their non-binary child. Last week, the parents of an 18-year-old named Dakota Iron Eyes filed paperwork asking a judge to issue a protective order against the actor on behalf of their child, saying Miller groomed and brainwashed Dakota. Ezra uses violence, intimidation, threats of violence, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over a young adolescent. Dakota said the filing obtained by multiple reports. The 18-year-old's parents met at Standing Rock. Alleged the two met at Standing Rock Reservation, North Dakota, where the child was just 12. The parents allege Miller gave Dakota substances, flew to London and places such as Vermont, New York, California, Hawaii. This past week, Miller deleted his Instagram in the face of the tribal summons, the actor allegedly mocking authorities about their whereabouts. We've watched this video where Dakota posted a video on Instagram defending Ezra Miller. It's nobody's business and nobody's owed a story or outcome. Dakota said in the 2-minute video clip, "This is my life and these are my decisions, and I'm disappointed in my parents and in the press in every way." Now, deadlines, they're very Amber friendly. Let's call it what it is.
And they borrow stories that aren't theirs and call them exclusives.
The thieves of deadline. So
Yes.
at the same time, they do get a lot of things right, sadly. So it's a frustrating seesaw here of I take things a little bit more seriously when but Lewis, it's I take a little things more seriously when Deadline does report it, sadly, but the way they report it is not always correct and they're biased, so just be aware. But yeah, it's interesting to see how they sort of are not really getting into the video is not as clear cut as that. They sort of took the 2 clearest lines that Dakota said to make it sound like she's fine. When if you watch that video, which we could play later if we need to, she seems like she's unwell. It seems like there's someone coaching her. It's a very weird. It sounds like Ezra Miller talking, as Lewis you've said. Which I
the
agree.
Mannerisms. Because I've watched Ezra Miller a lot. I actually as a fan of his work as an actor. But the woman's mannerisms are Ezra Miller's. Even the voice pattern, the way the pitches and everything. It's very weird.
I mean, it's not weird. I feel like it's very cultish what's happening right now. It feels like someone's starting a revolution with bringing kids, and we're gonna fight back. Given all the actions we've seen with him, that it's not surprising that she would probably mimic a lot of his thoughts, grandiose thoughts. It's what happens in a cult. Prior to that recent story, Dakota's parents, the actor was arrested twice in Hawaii for dust-ups, they're calling it, at a karaoke bar in March, followed by an arrest for second-degree assault at his residence a month later for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman at a private party Miller attended, cutting her forehead. During the first incident, Hawaii Police Department reported that Miller became agitated when patrons began singing "Shallow" from A Star Is Born. Miller began yelling obscenities at one point, grabbed the microphone from a 23-year-old woman singing karaoke, disorderly conduct offense, and later lunged at a 32-year-old man playing darts. The bar owner asked Miller to calm down several times to no avail. The actor was arrested and charged on both offenses with bail at $500. He was then released. 2 days later, the couple who lived with Miller at a hostel filed a restraining order against the actor when he returned home and allegedly threatened to bury them. Miller reportedly stole the wife's passport and husband's wallet. By mid-April, the restraining order was dropped. Even more disturbing incident happened in April 2020, which was before they did The Flash, right, Lewis?
2020?
I guess.
Well, you mean
they didn't shoot The Flash until the pandemic, right?
It's been in the works for a long time, man. I'm
saying
not the right
shooting
person
it.
to ask.
I don't know
shooting
when production began.
It gets delayed. It gets.
I think they shot it after the incident in Iceland, is what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty sure. Where he appeared to be a woman throwing her to the ground in Iceland. It occurred when Miller was confronted by pushy. So they're saying it was after Miller was confronted by pushy fans. He was escorted out of the venue. Interesting. They're Deadline's really trying to help Miller in this article. Like
pushy fans. That's come on, dude. There's no evidence of that.
Well, not only that, even if they were pushy, it doesn't give you rights to grab them and throw them on the floor. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. I mean, what's so sickening to me, and there's a little bit more, but what's so sickening to me is like Hollywood lost their minds when Will Smith went and slapped Chris Rock. The dude is now like MIA, lost everything because he slapped Chris Rock over a joke that I don't even think was offensive. Now, I'm not endorsing what Will Smith did. I think Will Smith has an opportunity and should come back. But what the hell? What does it take for Ezra and Amber to be held accountable for their actions? Warner Brothers? This is ridiculous. I do understand the nuance here, right? It's more complicated. You've now completed. It's in the can. Like they're just finishing post. You have a $200 million tentpole superhero film in the can. It's very hard to just go reshoot the lead who has multiple roles as the Flash in multiple universes. Like, I get it. It sucks. But, I mean, this isn't okay. If the Hollywood has certain rules for certain people and then not other people, sort of just depends how loud we get, I guess. And I'm not even really for canceling people altogether, but I hate cancel culture is not okay in my mind at all. But there is rules that you set as a studio. If you're going to fire Johnny for allegations you thought a judge was correct about, and then it turns out isn't, and then you're not going to at least bring him back, well, then you got to fire the other two people, which is Ezra and Amber. That's just how I roll. And if you don't, you're hypocrites, and it's hard for me to support you. But Steph, I'll go back to you. What do you think of the hypocrisy here of them not making a move yet and still sort of trying to play it both ways?
In a way, when it comes to Ezra Miller, I think it's a different kettle of fish. I don't think we can say it's entirely hypocrisy how they're dealing with him. Reason being is because when you look at Amber Heard, she's Mera, unfortunately, in Aquaman 1 and 2. Now, forget Aquaman 1, we look at Aquaman 2. You could take her out completely and utterly, remove her from the situation, from that movie, and it's not going to have much of an impact. If anyone, no one's going to miss her, right? Done, dusted, easy. Ezra Miller as the Flash in Flashpoint, The Flash, it's a little bit more tricky. This is why I say I feel sorry for Warner Brothers, because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because they're dealing with an actor who is literally a main character in the film, where it's all centered around the character that he is playing. So with that being said, it's not so easy to get rid of Ezra Miller as the Flash than it is to get rid of Amber Heard as Mera, because Mera's a side character.
Was it easy to get rid of Johnny?
The main character. Sorry, what?
Was it easy to get rid of Johnny?
Yeah.
They had started shooting.
Of what he plays.
They started shooting. He's a big part of that movie, the part third.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? They just started shooting. So at that point, I don't agree with what they did in terms of getting rid of Johnny, don't get me wrong, and I do feel that there's a hypocrisy there when you compare that to how they treated Amber Heard. But with that being said, they had just started shooting. So at that point, again, don't agree with it, but it was easy for them to get rid of Johnny Depp because they could just get Mads Mikkelsen in straight away, and they were pretty much starting from the beginning anyway.
I'm kind of surprised by you, Steph.
I know.
Why are you giving them a pass just because money? I mean,
No.
it is totally possible for them to replace him. They did it with Christopher Plummer and All the Money in the World. They did it with Tig Notaro in Army of the Dead. Granted, it's more expensive, but it's absolutely possible. Or they just sink the movie because they're like, you know what? We stand by our convictions and we don't want to do this. Maybe we're not going to release this film until we learn more about this incident. We apologize, but we stand by, what's right or wrong. Like, I don't know. I think given the decision they made, right or wrong, they need to either retroactively fix that decision, what they did with Johnny, and then allow all their actors to have a little bit more room to breathe and let us be the decision, right? Or follow your convictions, no?
But the thing is, you say follow your convictions, but we're talking about a movie studio. There ain't no bloody convictions with a movie studio. It's all about profit. It's all about getting the movie out and making profit over it.
Money. It's all about the money. Exactly.
It's all about the money. Exactly. It's not about convictions. That's naive for you to say in a way.
Well,
no disrespect, my friend.
No, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I'm just calling out the fact that you're almost giving them a pass. It feels like you're giving them a pass.
I'm talking about the reality of the situation.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, they're not going to. They're not going to throw the money away. I agree with you. We're on the same page.
Exactly. The reality of the situation is you're comparing apples to oranges because at the end of the day, you've got a finished product, a finished $200 million film where Ezra Miller is literally the center, the main character. He is the Flash in Flashpoint. This movie's the cornerstone that's going to open up the next era of the DCU. It's as simple as that. It's going to wash away the Snyderverse. It's going to usher in a new era for them. And if they play it right, actually, I think they'll surpass Marvel, in my opinion, but we'll go there. But you've got Mera as Aquaman 2. She could easily be edited out, and it wouldn't make a dent in terms of the movie as much as editing out freaking the main character. You edit out in Flash, what you got? No movie, because you got no Flash. You've got Johnny Depp, who started the third movie as Grindelwald, but he just started it. They removed him unfairly, yes, but they just started the movie, so it was easy for them to unfairly remove him and bring in Mads Grindelwald. Bear in mind as well, to be fair, even though it was unfair, they did that, Johnny Depp still got paid every single dollar from that contract anyway. So he didn't entirely lose out, but I, of course, disagree with how Warner Brothers had handled that situation. Of course. Now, there's a discrepancy between how they've treated Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, 100%. Ezra Miller, on the other hand, is a different kettle of fish. Because you're talking about a main character who is the linchpin in a freaking important movie for them, and they have to consider everything very carefully. You turn around and you say, well, in a ideal world, yes, remove him, reshoot it. Remove him and reshoot it, do the Christopher Plummer route. Absolutely agree with you. The reality is, Warner Brothers ain't going to do that because they've already spent over $200 million on the thing. So I think the best that we can hope for is what all the reports are saying, that Ezra Miller's out. Like, after this movie, they ain't recasting him as the Flash, and they're going to bring in someone else as the Flash. And hopefully in a year's time, when the movie does eventually come out, that this will be a slightly distant memory anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for Warner Brothers anyway, because I feel sorry for them with this situation.
Yeah,
what else can they do realistically, Andy?
No, we're in agreement. I thought you were speaking for you. Like, personally, they should reshoot it at this point to stand by their convictions, is my opinion. Will they? Hell no. They're a studio. They don't have money. I was more just surprised by, like, really? Is that what you think? But no, we're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
I was like just surprised by the surprise because it's like they could do it, and given everything, they probably should do it. But then the reality is they shouldn't have fired Johnny, is really what they shouldn't have done by opening up the can of worms in the first place, because they rushed to assume, when now it's blew up in their face, that Johnny didn't get a fair shot out in the UK, and that was against a defamatory article. Now we actually address the person herself, and she's now been caught as a liar. So it makes things a lot more complicated for Warner Brothers, and it, to me, proves they shouldn't have been so quick to remove him. Lewis, what do you think?
I think Warner Brothers is a director-driven studio. They put all their cookies on the Zack Snyder jar, and they got the Trinity, but not Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. They got the toxic Ye Fisher. They got the toxic Amber Heard and the toxic Ezra Miller. That's what we got out of it, and it still bites them in the ass. They disrespected the characters. Ezra Miller looks nothing like the Flash. There was no reason to force Amber Heard in the Snyder Cut again. This is nerd talk. Actually, she returned like less than 2 years ago to do reshoots for a DC film. A lot of people forgot that. And then Ezra Miller doesn't look anything like the character. Fans were complaining, but they crowbarred him in. And here we go. You didn't research your actors outside of the films. You got to do that. You got to look at new people and see what their track record, how do they act, psychological evaluation even before you invest. Instead, we got those three, but we don't have the ones we want. There's no Henry Cavill. There's no Ben Affleck. There's no Gal Gadot. There's no Johnny Depp. So it's opposite world over there, and it's still haunting them. Maybe what we should do is pretend we don't want Johnny Depp in a movie, and you'll see how fast they put him in. It's ridiculous. Dude,
Lewis, do you remember the absolute, like, we all jizzed ourselves in our pants when, no, seriously, no, think about it. When, at the end of Shazam, spoiler alert, guys, but seriously, if you haven't watched the first Shazam film by now, where have you been?
Too late.
Literally, at the end, literally, like, Henry Cavill's, we know this because of the suit. It was Henry Cavill's Superman that appeared. You didn't see his face, but you saw the suit and you knew it was Henry Cavill's Superman. Oh my goodness. We all jizzed ourselves. Cream banana pants kind of situation happened at that point. Even the female version. And oh my goodness.
I didn't do that much. Jesus.
I remember that.
It was fun, but
I remember it. You guys, you played it cool, but I'll keep it 100. Yeah, I'll keep it 100. But no, we were so freaking happy and cock a hoop. Oh my goodness, Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything with it. It's as if there's like a strange disconnect between the audience and Warner Brothers Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's over 5 million people that have signed this petition saying, kick Amber Heard out of Aquaman 2. We don't want her in it. Has 5 million plus ticket sales. Bear in mind, it's more closer, maybe, let's say, and I'm going to be very basic about this, like 10 million, because generally speaking, when you go to cinema, you're going with friends or you're going with like your partner or something like that, right? So that's more actual ticket sales when you think about it, but they've not. It's like they're going like this, la 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 la. We don't know anything. We're not hearing you. La la la. I don't get it.
I don't think it's as big as we all think, and I hate to be that one guy, but I don't know. I don't think the boycotts are really.
Ezra Miller situation?
Yeah, I don't think the boycotts for Ezra Miller would be that big.
No one knows who he is.
Exactly. I just don't think. I think they're more into the Flash and Michael Keaton's Batman, and they'll just limit him in the trailer and they'll limit him in the promotion. If like nothing else happens, they'll get away with it, and it is what it is. Like I don't think enough people really care, and the charges are still sort of allegations. Like it's not like he's actually like caught doing anything just yet. If they can buy off some people and everyone's fine with it and move on, right? That movie happens. I think the Amber Heard one is the bigger question in this one for me. I'm just still at a loss of how they can't, because it would be very easy for them to refilm that scene too. And then I thought they were just going to do it and be easy. It's if it cleans the thing. I feel like it shows Johnny, okay, look, we did it for both of you, okay? That done deal. Like we shouldn't have done it with you, but we did it with her. Hey, now let's reevaluate. Let's come back. Both of you will have a shot later. Maybe if you prove your, take accountability. That's what it is. But I don't think even the Amber Heard petition is going to make a difference to Warner Brothers. They don't care.
They're obviously going disconnected universes. They're getting Harry Potter, that series with Ezra Miller, the Crimes of
Fantastic Beasts, yeah.
Because that thing's over. The DCU is probably over after Ezra Miller here, and they're pushing for the Robert Pattinson thing and stuff. And Joker. They're doing standalones. I think that's the future for them. And they're in between a rock and a hard place, man. Warner Brothers, like we could say Warner Brothers this and that. Warner Brothers is not one person though. There's so many moving parts.
Right.
There could be, for all we know, I'm gonna bet a lot of people are upset just like we are over there, but they can't do anything. They can't move.
You mean in the studio? Totally. But do you really think the majority of the world who's going to go buy a ticket to the movie really cares about any of these things? Because I don't, sadly.
The Johnny Depp, that is very mainstream, man.
Because I think they might care more than I'm giving them credit, but I think they won't even know she's in the movie. Because I know we all know there's 100,000 of us who watch, and we're all invested, in a million of us maybe, but there's way more people in the world, and a lot of them are just going to go with their kids and see the movie because they want to see Aquaman. They're not going because they know Amber Heard's in it. The reality, we're educated and know about it, but you know what I mean. Most people walking by and seeing the Aquaman poster aren't going to think about, wait, is Amber Heard in this movie? They're just going to buy it and be done with it.
Well, what gets me, I'm sorry, Steph, if you wanted to get in there. What gets me about Amber Heard is that not only is she's an awful actress.
Yes.
She looks like everyone. You could replace her in a heartbeat. Like she does not have a distinct look. You cannot replace, like, let's say, Jason Momoa, because everyone could tell. Like, but Amber Heard, I mean, I'm sorry. You put Margot Robbie as Mira and I'm cool. It's the same kind of look. There's no unique, and Margot Robbie's a better actress. Or even an actress. Amber Heard, 100% Johnny Depp got her that gig. There's no other reason.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. It doesn't make any sense.
Benefits.
But to see that Warner Brothers is still like really not, they've declined to comment on Miller, where they're mounting incidents. Deadline has reached out to Miller's reps and should they have comments. It's just interesting because they won't even address Amber in this article. It's like they just shows how biased they are over a Deadline. Like, how do you not make a comparison? Also, interesting, Amber is also, is she going to lose the part? That would have been a fascinating sort of piece to this ad, and they, of course, didn't give us that. But it shows they're just not going to. I mean, Warner Brothers previously, before Zaslav, was very, like, what was the quote, Lewis? Like, we don't listen to any fan demands. Like, they're just like, we don't care. We're never going to back down because of a petition online. They've been very vocal about that in the past, so I'd be very shocked to see that attitude change. But it's at the same time, it's new people in charge, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, this
I don't think we're ever going to see the Flash movie, guys. I don't. I have no faith.
I mean, it depends what else happens. If Ezra continues,
you don't think it'll be released?
It's been 6 years. It's like I don't think there's two things. I don't think I'll ever see Superman back properly or this right here, because it's just like it's what the fans wanted and they kept delaying it and they waited till Ezra went crazy. It's like,
well, I mean, the pandemic delayed it, Lewis. Like, I think you're being a little harsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pandemic delayed a lot of movies, and this was a very complicated movie.
Thor,
the movie's
Miss
been
Marvel. I mean,
Doctor Strange was delayed because of reshoots, because the new absolutely shocking Doctor Strange is and still is.
The Batman came out.
Yeah, but Lewis, pandemic and Discovery took over, and the whole studio shifting, and you're telling me that's not a justified delay? Like, who was even in charge last year?
6 years ago, we didn't have
the film didn't shoot 6 years ago. We're talking about once it started shooting,
bro. It was officially announced.
I don't care when movies are announced all day long. When a movie shoots and then when it's released, that's to me the real delay, because they signed off on a script, they put money down to make it, like really make it, and then it's still not out. I call that a delay. Everything before is just creative organization, whatever. Like, movies get greenlit and don't even get made, Lewis. When it shot, which was during the pandemic, it's been what, 2 years? 2 years.
Well,
it's not.
We got Top Gun. Top Gun was shot during the pandemic. There's a
right,
lot of
but they didn't have Paramount shut down in the middle of it. I thought you were the nerd report, Lewis.
They did.
Lewis, they have spent $200 million plus on this movie. This movie, as I've said, and you know it yourself, is a linchpin for the DCU. They want to absolutely cleanse the palette of the Snyderverse once and for all, and this movie's going to do it. You're turning around and saying they are not going to release this. No way in hell are they not releasing it. They are releasing it no matter what. Now, if it was going to be released, let's say in the next month, then maybe I'd be like, but it's going to be in a year's time. I don't mean any disrespect, but when it comes to public, short attention and memory spans.
of course.
A lot of them, right? And so in a year's time, anything could happen.
I mean,
But mark my words, this movie's coming out.
I don't know, man.
What.
I think might just be a write-off. They should just redo the whole movie properly with new cast and a new DCU.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, The Flash is the linchpin to starting it. Sorry for those who don't know we're talking about superheroes, but The Flash can like go back in time and like reset the universe and like basically. We've had a lot of Batman, we've had a lot of Supermen over the past decades in these movies, and The Flash and the Flashpoint is a famous comic book. It was a TV show as well. It's a very clever way to sort of hit the reset button and allow things to start. And it's a very clever way, just like Spider-Man last Christmas made like the multiverse, the Spider-Verse, so all the Spider-Men were around. The Flash had an opportunity to do the same thing, and I think they're trying to make that happen so all the previous things can coexist, and then we launch off to the new world. But the problem is they shouldn't have banked on Ezra Miller, and that's where and Ezra Miller is just that where I'm most upset with him is like this is a character kids are supposed to look up to. This is such a big opportunity for them, and I'm just annoyed. Like you're filming yourself for NFT crypto. Like really, this is what the youth is supposed to be doing. There's just something off, and it's not right. And I don't want him to be a superhero at this point. It bugs me.
Lewis rant incoming. F you, Ezra Miller. I stuck up for you. I do have websites that report on movie news like Nuke the Fridge. People were laughing at your ugly ass when you showed up in Suicide Squad or in Batman versus Superman. You looked nothing like the Flash. You looked awful. Your acting was awful, but I saw something in you and I was like, maybe this guy could work. And I kept speaking up for you. And now you're stalking 12-year-olds. Man, go to hell.
Yeah, it's sad, but I think it's an interesting topic, and that's why I like talking about this because we're all right, because it's like this is a lot of money. It's a lot of other people whose work shouldn't just get thrown in the trash because of one person. Like Andy Muschietti, the director, is a fantastic director who I think will do more great things and has been stuck in this movie for the past 5 years just trying to get it out through pandemic, studio changes, etc. It was supposed to be Robert Zemeckis. I remember I was at ScreenJunkies when I first reported the breaking news that Zemeckis was going to do a Flash movie, which he was going to do, and then there was some creative differences and it fell apart. But that would have been amazing. Robert Zemeckis did Back to the Future, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's frustrating. I do think you're right. They're going to release the movie, Steph, even if it's just a Disney, Warner Brothers exclusive, just to put it out there.
They're going to do it. They're releasing this movie. However, they're releasing this movie. No way in hell are they not. But they've got too much to lose not releasing this movie.
Not only that, you ruined it, Ezra, for Sasha, the lady playing Supergirl. She's beautiful. People were criticizing her suit. I think you ruined it for her to prove everyone wrong. Because I think from what I saw, footage over there at CinemaCon, she looked great. Now everyone's talking about you instead of the new Supergirl, or even Batman. Michael Keaton comes back, and you. It's true.
When you're the Flash, probably the first arrest, you should be like, all right. Whatever I'm doing, I need to stop because I shouldn't, as the Flash, keep getting arrested, whether it's my fault or somebody else's. Maybe I should take myself out of whatever situations are putting me in this because I'm now a role model that a studio has invested a lot of money to, and Michael Keaton's donning his suit again to come back. And there's a new Supergirl that and it's a Latin. She's Latin, right? So it's like a lot of really first and important moments. And now you're just throwing it all away because you're doing NFT crypto art with Nerf guns. I genuinely, I'm trying to mock them. I'm just like, Ezra, you need help. Enough. Your hubris and I gotta fight the world. It's not the time. You got a lot of people who are on your back right now, and you're about to throw them all in the garbage if you don't get your act together. And I think there's still time, right? If we can figure out, what's going on? Is this real? Can they go to a treatment center and actually get help right now and maybe work out the things that are there, and maybe that they were just misunderstandings? I don't know. But if that doesn't happen soon, then I think they just gotta redo it. Whether they can reshoot it like they did the others, and just like you said, Lewis, do a deep fake where they just get Grant Gustin to come in and do the performance. I think it's too hard. There's too much movie to do it with. It's not like there's 20 minutes of scenes or even a half hour of scenes. That's probably a 2-hour movie. They got to redo every action scene. And granted, a lot of the action of him is all just a CGI anyway. It's like changing ugly Sonic to fast Sonic, right? To his flailing arms. But all the other acting scenes are going to be hard to justify. Go ahead. What do you want to say, Lewis?
So they announced this movie. Everyone's like, please have Grant Gustin because he's so good. He's charming. He looks great.
Well, I heard he's in it. I heard he makes a cameo.
Oh, he's a cameo. So have him be the Flash. What do? They put Ezra Miller. All right, looks nothing like the Flash. Does a horrible job. Then does this, which is the real problem. And then it's opposite. We root for Henry Cavill. We don't get any Superman. We root for Grant Gustin. We get Ezra Miller. We want Johnny Depp in the movie. We get no Johnny Depp in the movie. So I'm thinking it's reverse psychology from now on.
Yeah.
If you want something, pretend you don't want it.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. There's a disconnect. But you were referencing earlier on all the money in the world reshoots, and I did a little bit of digging, and so it took about 9-10 days for the reshoots, and the reshoots it cost in total was $10 million, right? And that was for the one character, the Kevin Spacey character that then the wonderful late Christopher Plummer then took over from. But then again, you're comparing apples and oranges because with the Flash, if they reshoot it,
I mean, we're comparing
it's gonna
apples.
cost a heck of a lot more than that, and it's going to take a heck of a longer time than 9-10 days.
It's like apples and milkshakes; they're completely different because it's like when you look, even the shot, which is CGI, it's his body type. It's like he's in there, and then he's got to walk. Do you get someone who looks like him to walk up the stairs and do the whole show? Like every scene is going to be this guy, and it's and then as I was trying to find the shot, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the suit. Then do you just keep the eyes and every shoot shot? I mean, I would think the cost to do that would almost be as much as to just reshoot the whole thing again.
Do you know the only way? Okay, and I'll concede on one point. The only way Warner Brothers does not release this film, completely scraps it, or just starts over from new, is if, I'm not saying he's done it, just if Ezra Miller goes through a court case and he is found guilty of being evil.
That's not going to happen by the movie's release. Takes too long.
Yeah.
But again, this was the shot I was trying to find. That's him.
Yeah.
That's them.
Two.
That's them. It finally works, Steph.
Yes, there you go.
That's them. There are two Ezra Millers there. Them makes sense now.
Yes.
So there's two of them, along with I forget what's her name, Lewis, who plays Supergirl.
What is it? Sasha Collin.
But I mean, like, imagine having to reshoot that again with not only Ezra up front, but then the Ezra in the back, because there's multiple identities and multiple flashes and things as this goes. This movie's not being.
And in case the audience doesn't know, because I know we have people a different audience in Movie Bus. Back a few years ago, they had to reshoot the Justice League movie. Henry Cavill had a mustache because he was doing Mission Impossible. They had to CGI the mustache out. So when you watch the theatrical version of that, Henry Cavill looks like this.
It's awful. Whoever did that CGI needs to be fired.
It was awful. This situation right here is pretty much hold my beer. This situation looked at that one and goes, you know what, hold my beer.
True.
Yeah, I don't think you can reshoot this. I mean, it's too much. Everything they did, all the sets, you need to recreate sets, the Batcave. Like, it's a problem for Warner Brothers.
Just put a disclaimer on there, man, in the beginning and say, we know what the things that have happened off screen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm the same way because it's like he's already been paid. So it's like, it is what it is. All these other people that creatively weren't part of the movie, the fellow actors, the director, why is it their fault? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, guys. Some of you were like, I can't support it. But you're not really supporting them anymore in this movie because it's already done. The damage is done. And I agree. If they do a disclaimer up front, or they give to charity or something to help try to offset some of the costs and to honor the other people's work, I mean, I still watch Kevin Spacey movies, even though we're not supposed to. Like, he was a good actor back then. I can separate the art from the artist.
That's perfect.
And I think, this is an instance where it's like, it's such a big deal. It'd be smart if the director could figure out a way to, like, could they recast him at the end or something, like.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying him, I'm saying Barry Allen, the character, who is him. Could they, the Barry Allen Flash could be somehow adjusted or something, would be a clever way to sort of like, all right, there it is, that happened, but out of respect of everybody else in the movie, we're not going to just throw it away, because this was a huge deal for a really popular director and writers and talented team, that now they should all suffer because Ezra made some choices that clearly they shouldn't have done. And still, I mean, and I guess that's the other thing I keep saying, hasn't been charged with a crime, but kind of has, right? There have been restraining orders and things, and it's like, at this point, it's not just like an accusation. There's been some, stuff that's coming out that's just not very good for a superhero to be, that kids are going to look up to, right?
He grabbed a woman by the neck. I don't care if it's a woman, man, friggin' The Rock, and threw him on the floor as they gagged. You could hear that gag as they went down. I don't care if the court
worse than what Will Smith did. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't care if they say if he's guilty, if he goes to court. I need to know what the hell just happened there, because and that's it. And
pushy fans, Lewis. It was pushy fans.
Well, that's part of the life. I've had pushy, dude. Half the stuff they tell me online, dude.
Dude, even Tom Hanks didn't resort to that. Do you see the clip the other day where Rhea Wilson got pushed over by some fan, almost, and Tom Hanks doesn't push. Tom Hanks gets in the face and screams the F word, get the F back.
Yeah.
Which he's allowed to do at that point because his wife's been pushed over, but you don't unless you're being hit, you don't do that. And they clearly didn't follow that rule. So and
I'm saying they because I'm respecting the community, not Ezra. I lost respect for him. I'm doing it for the community because people are chatting about that. We refer to them as they whatever. We're trying, at least for me, I'm trying my best because of the community. Ezra Miller, if I call him him and he gets offended, I don't give a crap what he thinks. Okay? It's for the community. That's my opinion. Lewis right here. He lost respect. As soon as he decided to choke people and go after...
Well, and Ezra would say that's a hate crime.
Get F off. Huh?
Ezra would definitely say that's a hate crime.
Fine.
Because you are choosing to ignore
Arrest me, and then my GoFundMe will blow up for my lawyers.
He thinks the Triple K is going after him or something along those lines a month or two back. I'm sorry, but what Ezra Miller thinks at the moment, I'm not...
Perfect.
I don't
let's
take
make some NFT crypto.
Seriously.
Steph, we'll make some NFT crypto art with Ezra. I love it. Let's do it.
He's mocking that entire stuff.
But just for the nerds out there, 2 Ezra Millers are getting out to go to the old Wayne, Bruce Wayne's mansion. Tim Burton's Batman is where they're going, guys. So a lot of you are like, no, okay, but this is the continuation of Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah. With
Michael Keaton coming back. It's harder than just like, that one's hard for me as a nerd. I'm just like, Aquaman, whatever. Go away. But to bring back this, to see him old and still doing it, guys. I've been waiting that for so long, and why should Michael Keaton get knocked down because of Ezra Miller? I don't get it. This is where it's like I boycotting stuff. I'm just like, it's tough. With Amber, it's the same thing with Amber, right? I'm boycotting Aquaman too because she was found by a jury as a liar, and I feel like at this point, it's not the star of the movie. It is a very easy part they could redo. It's going to cost them a little bit of money, but it's a hospital scene. Go redo the hospital scene, figure it out. Get it done. It's easy. You did it to Johnny. You owe it to Amber. Separate situation. With Ezra, I don't know how you reshoot it. It's either throw away the movie or completely redo the movie. And who's to say Michael Keaton's going to come back? And does that mean we don't get to see any of that work? I'm not saying cancel Aquaman. I'm saying recast her because it's easy. And this one, though, I don't know how you do that. You don't do it.
Though. You said it perfectly. A disclaimer in the beginning, and at the bottom say there's thousands of people working on this film, and give them a raise, man. Because now they were proud of their work, and now they have to go home and say I worked on The Flash, and they're gonna say this guy is running away from the cops. Give them a raise. Give your workers a raise. All the people that get mentioned halfway through the credits, give them $1,000 raise. That's probably going to come out to like 50 grand. Fine, because they're the ones working on this, and they're still probably going forward proudly. And look who's the main star is. It's not fair for them. And look at Ezra Miller.
I'm putting a poll in.
Steph, people do not like him as the Flash. My friends hate him. He's not a great. He's not doing a great job. He looks nothing like the Flash. They gave him everything. They gave him Tim Burton's Batman to work with. They gave him one of the best directors. They gave him Supergirl. All this stuff they given him, and he throws it away. It's very difficult to feel any sympathy for this guy.
All right, so I put a poll up. I'm curious. Should all the other people involved in the Flash suffer for Ezra's actions? No. Put a disclaimer and release it. Yes. Can't watch it with Ezra in it. I'm curious where you guys stand. Vote what you think. I feel like we've made our own passionate pleas, and I'm still torn. And the other thing is, like, who knows what else is going to happen or how more details we get at this, because the last one sounds really bad, but I've still yet to see any details about it. It's just like one accusation that he showed up to. Is this going to get thrown out too? Is this real? Like, what happened? Is there more to it? That's what I want to know. Like, because this one's definitely, it's getting weird. And then with the other girl, Dakota, yeah, I mean, something's off. And I don't want to support Ezra, but I don't know what we do. And if the woman who's now an adult has come forward and says, leave me alone, as frustrated as I can be, and I can disagree, she's now an adult and they can go do what they want. We can't pull adults and put them in conservatorships because, you know what I mean? It's even if we disagree. Now, if there's more that comes out of it, Ezra, and we learn that this really has been an ongoing problem with multiple people, yeah, then at that point things get a little heavy. I don't think Warner Brothers can even put a disclaimer up. It depends how intense these allegations actually get, or accurate these allegations get. But all we know is we will keep you posted, because this is a massively big, expensive movie that a lot of creative people have been working on for 6 years, as Lewis said. And Ezra, you're being a real scumbag right now with your actions. You speak for so many more people than you realize, and it's really disturbing to see that you're just sort of laughing it off and running around and keep going to bars to get in fights. Like, the Flash doesn't get in bar fights. Stop. You're the Flash right now. If you want to, afterwards, when the movie's over, stop being the Flash, okay, whatever. But a lot of people depended on you and did that movie with you. You owe them to be a good role model in the meanwhile. Go ahead, Lewis.
Dude, you just put up that picture. Andy Muschietti drew this. This is a cover art prequel to the Flash movie. It's such an unfortunate.
It's such a good cover. If it was anybody else,
because you know what? but
if it was anybody else, I would be like, "That's a really funny, cool cover." I've always wondered, how does he get the suit on right that fast? And then the Batman back there,
Ben Affleck.
It's really cool. But now knowing that it's Ezra,
they pulled it. They pulled it, man.
Of course they did.
But all the drama aside, that's a very funny and cool cover for a Flash. I wish they just would have put a random person on it instead of Ezra.
His image is bigger than Ben Affleck's Batman, and this guy still blew it. Could you imagine that? He still blew it. What opportunity?
I mean, he's got issues. They've got issues. They need help. It's so clear.
I want to know what the issues are first because right now I'm with Steph here.
Substances, mental issue, something's off, dude. Something's off.
That's the way it comes off, but there's no proof of that. There's no proof of much, but to be fair, I
don't know, man. I think you don't think they're doing drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, that you can lose your brain to the drugs. That's a serious addiction and substance abuse problem that can really, if unchecked and unfiltered, can really mess with you. So that's still an issue that I think he needs to go to rehab. So I don't know, but yeah, this was now an unfortunate cover again. Andy Muschietti, who drew it, I didn't know he could draw that well. It's just really well done. He must be so stressed.
Look at the bottom right.
Yeah,
he signed it.
Signed it. He must. God, I feel bad. And there's the that one. What do you do? Well, you guys have voted, and 70% say put a disclaimer. 30% of you say no, I'm not going to watch it either way. Interesting. Speaking of interesting, Amber Heard's writing a revenge book. We're going to talk about that more in detail, but we talked about it earlier. If you missed it, go watch this morning's video because Christopher Melcher had the best take. I don't know how I missed it, but I think he's spot on. I think that's getting leaked not to scare Johnny. That's getting leaked to scare all the other men and women that Amber has had secret relationships with. Because I'm guessing there's several. And I think this is now a threat to all of those other people. Like, hey, what do I got to lose at this point? I'm going to make a book and just tell all my secrets. Unless somebody wants to pay me to stay out of the book. Guys, what a show. I don't even know where I trimmed it, but I just picked apart at random. We have so much coming. You're not going to miss all the content coming soon. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, or hit that join button. You can become a member, pick a tier, and that way you get notified extra. Appreciate you guys so much. We had such a fun show. A lot of stuff came out. It will be clipped. If you missed it, go to the members only playlist on the main page. Right now, we're sending folks over to Lewis. If you're watching live, if you're watching on the replay, click on one of these when videos are there. Appreciate you guys so much for watching, supporting Popcorn Planet. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I hope all goes well. Oh.